Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Titans. This time we're on Season 1, Episode 10, titled Koriandr. Not spelt like her actual name, Koriandr, spelt more like the actual herb Koriandr, but with a K and no E. So, yeah, Koriandr, Episode 10 of Season 1. Last time we had Hank and Dawn, the opposite of Hawk and Dove, the real names of Hawk and Dove, and we had it was a very much like a backstory type of episode. We had the kind of exploration of who the original Hawk and Dove were, which was Hank and his brother Donnie. But then we saw exactly what happened to both Donnie and Dawn's mother when they all first met each other, and that was looking back, a very kind of half-farcedly CGI'd van crashing into the both of them, immediately killing only those two people, and maybe whoever was inside the newspaper kiosk too, but only those three people just conveniently being offed for the sake of Hank and Dawn becoming the new Hawk and Dove. Stuff like that. We saw a bit of Hank's history with him being abused by his coach, and then fast forward about 10 or so years, and then him and Dawn both track the coach down and then take him out for the count, which was cool. But yeah, throughout the episode we saw Rachel was trying to reach out to the both of them, mainly to Hank, but Hank just wasn't really paying attention to any of that. But the very first time she reaches out to Dawn, Dawn immediately senses her and then gets brought back to the present day. She wakes up from her coma and then wakes up Hank and says that they both have a new mission from Rachel, which was to find Jason Todd. So I assume we'll be seeing him returning in some fashion. But yeah, it was a cool episode, very, very cool. I think it serves maybe as some kind of reference point for the future. Like it pretty much serves as backstory, nothing extra special, but shows how Hank and Dawn came to be and how Hawk and Dove came to be. And so yeah, so I think beyond that, it doesn't really serve much purpose. But I think it's a nice breakaway from the main story, but I don't think it was something we really needed, because the way the episode before that ended, you want to be able to get back into that story and see what the hell's going to happen after finding out the truth about Starfire and Raven. So it's not really like we needed a break, but we got one anyway. It was a cool kind of look back into Hank and Dawn's past. So yeah, it was fun. But that is pretty much all I have from the last one. So this time we'll be seeing hopefully Dick and Donna reaching the house and seeing what's happening there, because last time we saw them, Corey had Rachel in a chokehold. So yeah, and now she's given them the mission of finding Jason Todd for whatever reason. So I don't know if that's something that happens after Dick gets to the house or before, but I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So episode 10, Koriandr. Let's go. Oh, it's Hank and Dawn. Oh, okay. So this is when she was trying to reach out to them. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's fire spreading everywhere. Oh, it's Starfire. Oh, it's her chokehold. Oh, she's got the lasso. Donna's got the lasso. Oh, damn. Oh. Boom. She's still got it. She's very much still got it. That is a cool looking lasso. That is a really cool looking lasso. Oh, damn.
Lasso.
Yeah.
You're her.
Wendigo. Yeah, Wendigo.
You're a friend of Dick's.
You're Wonder Girl.
Mm-hmm.
I was.
So he knows about all the sidekicks and the superheroes. I mean, if you know about the superheroes, then you gotta know about the sidekicks. Yeah, but that wasn't Corey though. Like, she had it was clearly like a different version of her, like from before the memory loss. Yeah, it was this version of her, the one that crashed, the one that had a mission. Whoa, a tracker. Oh, that's cool. She's got a throwing star. That's cool. Are there any pictures of the dad? Are there any like family photos? There's dead ones of her, and they should have ones of the dad, right?
That wasn't the real Corey.
You're sleeping with her, aren't you? You're making too much use of her. And you have a thing for dangerous women.
Dangerous women.
Except for Dawn.
Tommy Carson?
Tommy Carson.
a $1.50 soaking wet back in high school. Now I can't look at a French.
Oh, an old friend.
How did you know he was here?
Oh, I'm on the job.
Oh, he's a sheriff.
You're a police officer.
County sheriff.
Sheriff. Yeah, I recognize that
Trouble at the
star.
train station over in Dayton. Got a call about a couple of cars out here. Thought I'd check it out.
Oh yeah, no one's been here in like a
around here?
decade, so it makes sense, yeah.
No.
You know where to find me.
Yep.
I got a weird feeling about him.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
No, I got a weird feeling about him.
Bad things happen to people around me.
Rachel, stop.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus, okay. That one jumped out. I'm surprised the demon didn't come out when Corey was strangling her. I thought that would be like a self-defense mechanism thing being activated. No, nothing came out. A lot of pictures. So there has to be a there has to be a picture of the father, right? Seeing who he is, and unless he wasn't much of a selfie kind of guy. Must be the grandmother. Oh, the mirror. Oh no. Oh. Jeez, and the door just closed on itself. Very creepy. Very, very creepy. Oh, that's a tree from the freaking Conjuring right there. Oh, even his phone's shutting down. Same as the rotary dialer. Whoa. Who's this? Who is that? Is that... Oh, it must be that scientist. Yeah, the scientist he killed. Yeah, the one he mauled to death. Yeah, this is the Conjuring all over again. The Conjuring. Did he actually eat anything though? He bit the guy, but did he actually eat any of his pieces? Any of his parts? I don't think so. Like he literally just tore him apart, his chest apart. That was it. He bit him, but did he actually chew or swallow?
The answer is in here.
What is here? Seems very industrial. An old warehouse? That's how these things usually go. Just always an old warehouse. An old abandoned warehouse.
Corey?
Whoa! Oh, that is some cloaking tech. That's cloaking tech. What a... That's a ship! That's a whole spaceship!
Shit.
Yep. Very cool looking ship.
It's just bad luck.
Oh
And
crap.
an old house.
No, this isn't just a house, this is something else. First the phone, now the mirror, and then the mirror.
Corey?
There's something else going on.
Corey?
Unless Rachel dies, my world will.
Why? What's the
How does
connection?
Rachel do that?
She doesn't. Someone from somewhere else.
Her father.
No, another dimension.
Her father.
This being was summoned to Earth to conceive a daughter.
Rachel.
Rachel.
Yeah.
Her father,
Yeah.
Trigon.
Trigon! I knew it! I knew it was Trigon. It had to be
Pulled back to his
Trigon.
home and imprisoned,
Yeah.
but she is the doorway that he can walk through.
Ah.
But eventually everything, all worlds, my world will burn.
So that's why Rachel's the destroyer of worlds, because she lets him through. She lets through the real destroyer of worlds. She's the gateway.
Who's this?
The mother. Aunt Angela.
Who's he?
It's Angela.
Family affair.
Oh, sugar.
Fuck.
Fuck indeed. Oh no, this is not gonna end well. Dude. She must have poisoned Gar. With the soup. She must have poisoned Gar. It's like Oculus all over again, the mirror just that makes you see what it wants you to see. Yeah, Brenton was in that movie too. Oh no, yeah, it's his stomach, he's gonna be sick. Oh god, no. Oh gee, oh is that how it happens? Is this how he bleeds?
Gar, can you hear me?
No, because in the mirror he was coming from the mouth.
I don't know. Tommy.
Oh, it's Tommy.
Hi.
Oh, gee, oh god, this must have been a future projection from the mirror.
The hell are the trials?
400 consecutive days of the harshest warrior training. None
Jesus.
have ever survived it.
I'll use the radio in the car.
You can't call anyone.
No, she's gonna kill him. Yeah, she's gonna, she kills him. Wait, with her bare hands? Was that her bare hands, or?
I would have liked to get that drink,
Oh, jeez.
but I'm in a relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, she is taken by a literal fucking demon.
Help coming? He went into town. You can do it.
Oh, using her powers. No. It's gonna amplify whatever's in the house and it's gonna bring Trigon through. This is exactly what Angela wants.
You have your father's gifts, and you need to
No.
use them now to save your son's life.
No. Rachel, do not trust her. Do not trust her.
Bring him home. Bring him to me.
Yep, mother and daughter are getting cozy now, with Daddy Dearest returning. Oh, she's actually bringing him through. Oh, this is Trigon in his human form. This is Trigon's human form. Oh, crap. Oh, this is bad news. This is very bad news.
There's nothing I wouldn't give you.
So he actually is gonna save him then? Huh. Okay, well, I still don't trust him. He's Trigon. He's not to be trusted.
So unusual. Boy or beast?
Both. He's Beast Boy. Ugh. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no.
Finally home.
No. Oh, Angela, you sneaky little minx. The entire time.
Dick, wait!
What are you gonna do? Oh, it's still there. It's still there. The house is still there. Just like a force field around it. Oh. But they can't get through?
They're coming.
Oh. Dick. He's the only one. Don't you end it here. Don't you dare end it. Can't help but bop along, even if I'm pissed off. Can't help but bop along. Ugh. End of that episode. Okay, yeah, so Angela's just a lying minx. Yeah, she's just a lying minx, lying frickin' bitch. But yeah, it was all a lie. It was all a lie. I mean, this episode itself was a lie, because, you know, she deliberately poisoned Gar so that, you know, they would have a reason to actually bring Trigon over. She knew that if she poisoned Gar, then she could convince Rachel to use her powers and bring him back. But then, you know, Rachel would realize she's not that powerful, and then she'd be like, oh, but what about your daddy? What about your daddy, the demon in hell, and or whatever dimension he's from? Like, you know, he could actually, he could do this. But no, it's just all just a lie, and it's good. It's good to finally get confirmation that, you know, Trigon is actually her father. From the first, like, I think pretty much from the first episode, like from the first time that they mentioned her father, and with this whole inner demon thing she had going on, my guess was Trigon. But then again, he's the only demon character I know from the DC universe. I don't know many others. I think demon characters in comic book world. I mean, well, Lucifer, he's a demon. So Lucifer technically I mean, he's an archangel technically, so not fully a demon, but still, there's him. Then there's Constantine, who deals with demons, but he himself is a human. And then, yeah, like, other demonic characters in the comic book universe, like you know, come to mind, like, you know, like Mephisto, but then that's Marvel. So yeah, Trigon is the only actual demon I'm aware of from this universe, so it was good to see, you know, he the most logical kind of explanation for that one. But yeah, we had Corey finding her ship, so she's from the planet of Tamaran, and the projection we saw was a projection of the future of Tamaran burning, and it's because of Trigon. It's definitely because of Trigon. So yeah, so Trigon is he's the destroyer of worlds. I think they called, I think in her notes in her storage unit, like, she called Rachel the destroyer of worlds too. But I think, you know, with her, that title makes a lot less sense because she doesn't have that power. She has the power to bring him through, but not the power to actually I mean, again, it's a family affair, so maybe both of their powers combined can do more damage than initially expected. But Trigon himself, he is the Eater of Worlds, the Destroyer of Worlds. So he's the one who actually ends up destroying Tamaran in the process. But he comes through on Earth, and then he starts off with Earth. So now we know that he's. I hope he makes it to season 2. I hope he makes it to season 2. Because I think he's definitely a villain I want to see more of. And it makes sense, but I was surprised to see that, we did kind of get like somewhat of a glimpse of his demon form. Like as he was first coming through the mirror, we saw his hand was really bulky and demonic and stuff like that. But then, the more he actually came out of the mirror, we saw he was taking on a more human form with thinner arms and like a more human body. So he has a human form now that, he uses to thingy. So yeah, so like I was wondering at the beginning, like what the mortality, like what the mortality spiking to do with was, because like in her notes, Corey said that on Rachel's birthday every year the mortality rate spikes and more people die. So my initial guess for that was, maybe it's like on her birthday, every year on her birthday, Trigon tries to come through, and then in the process, like he tries to find he runs through so many different people as potential hosts. And then, because they're all incompatible, then they all die. So then he tries to do that, but then I don't know if that's still the case, or if there's another reason for it. Maybe it's, he's the Eater of Worlds, so that means that he destroys the world and all the people on it. So, since Rachel is on Earth, she's the one who has the power to bring him through. So then, like whatever planet she's on, that's when stuff happens. So I think it could be more of a case of Trigon still trying to do his work through her, even if he's in another dimension. So he's still trying to reach through, try and connect to Rachel, and then if he manages to do so, like even for the shortest length of time, he still does that, and then he still ends up killing people. So still doing his work. But yeah, so he's kind of like Galactus. Then he's kind of like Galactus. He's a literal. Galactus. Galactus' deal is that he needs to eat worlds to survive. He needs to eat worlds to survive. He's not inherently antagonistic. It's just it's literally just survival for him. But Trigon, if there's like a prophecy that he's the destroyer of worlds, it seems more like a destruction and chaos thing to like for him. So very very different for Trigon. But yeah, Angela was still infatuated with him after all these years. She was infatuated with him. But then that begs the question of why she was locked up by the organization in the first place. And the organization knew about her father. They knew that he was in another world. They knew that he was Trigon. That he needed to be brought over. And but they were all humans though. Dr. Adamson, he was human, and I think that they were infatuated with him in the same way that Angela was. Dr. Adamson's whole speech to the family was, he will come to this world, he will cleanse the world, and he will show us all who we really are. So it's like, it sounds more like a rapture thing for him, it sounds more like like a Judgment Day thing, like Trigon will come, like a demon of immense power will come, and he will wipe the slate clean and leave only those who are who are worthy, or something like that. But when with Trigon being Trigon, I think him being the destroyer of worlds, I don't really think he believes in survivors so much. I think it's just him destroying worlds. I think he'll kill indiscriminately and kill until there's no one left, and then destroy the entire planet. But yeah, I don't know. But Corey found her ship, and that reveal of Angela being the one to actually be by Rachel's side, helping her. The art style in the book was really really cool too. Like it actually showed it seems very very graphic novel-y, especially like the drawings of Rachel and Angela and Rachel. It seemed very very graphic novel-y, so that was cool. But yeah, so she was the one. So yeah, I feel bad now for getting weird vibes about Tommy Carson, the sheriff guy. Like he literally was just an old school friend looking for a chance to catch up with Angela. He really was just an old friend, but I got weird vibes from him. I think, I feel bad for misjudging him now. He was really just a sheriff looking to help, and then in the end, he got killed by Angela, and Angela's last line to her being, "Oh, I'm in a relationship already," so she's still that infatuated with Trigon to the point where she's willing to kill other people to get him back. So yeah, that was that. But yeah, that house itself, I think, is likely, Rachel's childhood home. Is the house where she was conceived. I think Trigon's something that he came to Earth many years ago to actually conceive a child to begin with. And I think, I don't know, I think it could have been his kind of contingency plan, like, you know, he knew he was going to get banished, so he left behind like a way for him to actually get back in the at the end of it all. So he knew he was going to be banished regardless, and he couldn't stop it, but what he could do was make sure there was a way on this side for him to actually get back. So then he made a child with Angela. How he got Angela to fall in love with him this easily, I do not know. I mean, unless he promised to do anything for her and promised to love her forever, and she saw his power and she was infatuated with that, and then fell madly in love with him. Maybe that's how it all went down. But yeah, I don't know. It seems, you know, very, very. I think it's happened before. We've had, you know, human characters falling for, you know, higher powered antagonistic characters in various other stories, and it's happened before, and it's very rarely ended well, so I don't really see things actually working out well for Angela. I mean, Trigon doesn't really seem like the kind of guy for love. He seems like the kind of guy to have followers and loyalty and stuff. Like the organization, they were his followers. Dr. Adamson and his people, they were his followers. They were the ones trying to make sure that they could use Rachel to bring him back. So it seems more like, you know, he's more interested in having like people following him and chanting his name than he is about having a wife or a girlfriend or anything like that. So because of that, I don't really see him intending on keeping Angela around for much longer. But yeah, Angela was madly in love with him, and so she managed to, you know, execute this entire master plan of bringing him back. So yeah, but yeah, I think I would have liked to see his actual demon form in live action. I think, I don't know if we will get that, but I think it would have been cool. Like, you know, with her, I mean, I don't know if Rachel has her own demon form. Like, if she maybe has her own demon form. Like, I mean, for hers, it's like her inner demon just literally looks like her, but with pale skin and black eyes and, like, you know, like a distorted voice and everything. So it's like a demonic version of her. But with Trigon, we've seen in the projection, he has like another actual demon form, like a demon from hell. So, and he is from another dimension. So whether that other dimension is actually hell itself is up for discussion. Whether he actually comes from hell, because Trigon is a demonic name, and if he comes from hell, then if Lucifer knows him, like we know Lucifer Morningstar is a part of the Arrowverse now, and the Titans are a part of the Arrowverse, so, you know, Lucifer, if that's the thing, it's the thing he knows. We've seen hell in Lucifer, we've seen like their version of hell. So I don't know if that's like the same dimension as from wherever Trigon's from, but I guess we'll see. But seeing his human form, I'm interested to see how this actor pulls him off, how this actor portrays Trigon. But he brought Beast Boy back. And he actually acknowledged that, like, you know, I don't know what you are, like Beast or Boy, but, you know, you'll have a lifetime to figure it out. So yeah, so he actually admitted, like, he could tell that there was something else inside Gar the entire time too. So he brought back both. And then he mentioned the heartbreak. He mentioned that the world eating couldn't start until Rachel experienced heartbreak. So I don't know what that means. And he looked at Gar when he said it. So I don't know if he plans on killing Gar or if he plans on killing someone else. Dick was the only one who made it through. There was like that force field where they hid the house from them, and Dick was the only one who made it through. But then Corey and Rachel couldn't. I think that could be more accurate to heartbreak. Like, you know, Dick is someone that, you know, Rachel cares a lot about, and someone who, you know, Dick is someone who made a vow to protect her no matter what happens and to keep her safe. So, you know, watching her protector fall and die at her feet will likely bring a lot of heartbreak to her. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I think that's probably why he knew they were coming, and he only let in the one person that he somehow knew was much more deeply connected to Rachel, so that, you know, like he could, you know, kick the crap out of Dick and then make Rachel watch as he did it. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's what the plan is. And then Rachel has the trials. She has the 400 days of harsh warrior training. So that's her own thing. So I don't know what that entails. Like harsh warrior training. I mean, there's different-ish types of interpretations of how that's presented throughout this kind of pop culture. Like, you know, like warrior trials can be like actual physical combat, could be mental training, something along those lines. I think, given her powers, I think it could be more mental training, because she expressed in this episode how deeply afraid she is of her powers because of how little control she has over them, and whenever she does use them, most of the time it hurts people. Other times she does have some semblance of control over it, and she can actually fight back and protect herself and her friends, but most of the time it is something that she doesn't really know much about, and she doesn't have much control over it, so then that kind of brings a lot of fear. So I believe it. I mean, it could be more mental training, like, you know, her actually learning how to handle that kind of power. So so the trials are what she has to go through. Whether or not I don't know if they mentioned the original purpose of the trials, or if it's something that she has to go through to help Trigon in some way. But I think maybe if they could flip the script and be like, put her through the trials and give her that training, but then use it against Trigon in the end, so she actually knows how to better control her powers. She's more of a match for Trigon, and then all the Titans together could actually team up and actually help her. In the meantime, too, like we didn't see Dawn or Hank this time, so I think next episode we might see them jumping into along with Jason and actually them and the entire Titans team coming up and coming together and stuff like that. So we might end up seeing that. But yeah, we don't know, the 400 days of harsh warrior training, that's what she's got coming up, so hopefully it's something good and something she can use like for her actual benefit and not for like the benefit of someone else like Trigon. So we'll see. Yeah, and because of Trigon and Rachel, like Rachel being conceived by Trigon in that house itself I think has become like a gateway for all sorts of horrible demonic crap, like the force field coming up, the mirror especially. I think that must have been a future projection, because the mirror showed Gar bleeding down from his mouth, and initially I thought that would be like afterwards it showed him his fear, like him dribbling blood from the mouth. It would mean typically it would mean that he just eaten something as a tiger and then spat out again, and of course he goes outside and he sees the same doctor he killed back at the asylum. So I thought maybe it would be something kind of like it makes you see what you fear. So it makes you see what you fear, like taps into your mind, sees what you're most afraid of, and makes you see that. So again, kind of like the mirror from Oculus. Anyone who's seen that horror movie with Karen Gillan and Brenton Thwaites, I think it was decent. It was fun-ish, and I'm pissed off at how it ended, but I guess that was the point they were going for, that the mirror always wins. But yeah, anyone who hasn't seen it, feel free to go check it out. It's not this. It's a good enough horror movie. It's decent. But yeah, that movie, it reminded me of that movie, like the way the mirror worked. But then we find out that it might actually be more of a future projection, because then he was poisoned by Angela's soup, and then he started coughing up blood and bleeding from the mouth and the nose and everything. So he started dying from that. So it could have been a future projection. So whatever he eats, he just ends up coughing up, having blood dribbling down his throat and his mouth, regardless. So yeah, but that mirror, and then she used the mirror to actually bring him through. So like anything in that house is unsafe. That house is like a spawn point for demons. A spawn point. It was basically a spawn point for Trigon. Him using that and Rachel to actually come through. So the mirror was very, very bad news. But that was that. And I love how Gar just geeked out almost immediately, like him seeing Donna with the lasso, being like, oh, I know you are. You're like that lasso. You're her, aren't you? You're one to go. Like I love how he geeks out immediately. Like, and I seeing Dick dressed up as Robin. He's like, oh god, that's Robin. Like he knows these heroes. He knows these people, these heroes, and I think it makes sense with like heroes like that in the world. Like if you know the superheroes, then you likely know the sidekicks too. Like Batman has Robin, has two Robins now. Wonder Woman had Wonder Girl, and what other sidekicks are there? I don't know. We have Jason Todd, but I think Jason Todd also becomes Red Hood eventually. I don't know if that's like a thing that's going to happen in the show. But we have multiple Robins. We have one Wonder Girl, to my knowledge. We have who else do we have? I think I don't know how many of the Justice League people they have, because they've mentioned the Justice League in the show, but I don't know how many of the Justice League characters they actually have. Like if they have everyone, if they have Superman, if they have Flash, Green Lantern, Cyborg, Green Arrow, all that stuff. Because we have the Arrowverse Justice League now, pretty much. Even though they're not calling it that, we have them, and it's got Superman and Flash and everyone else. Most of them, we don't have Aquaman. I think all Aquaman in this show. If they have Aquaman in this show. We don't know. Cyborg. I think DC thingy. Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol has a cyborg in it. And I've been meaning to get around to that show. I promise you, I will get to that show. I will be reacting to it. But yeah, they have all these other characters, but like how many of them they actually have in the Titans universe is what I'm unsure of. Because then does he know all the other heroes too? Does he know their sidekicks? But I don't know. But he is his own hero. He's a member of the Titans. So that it was like the Titans is a cool way to actually unify the actual sidekicks too. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's seeing him geek out over meeting these other sidekicks, these more well-known ones. Is actually really cool because they started off being sidekicks of the hero, but he started off, you know, he was never meant to be a superhero to begin with. He was just a kid with these abilities who was part of an even stranger family, who was part of the Doom Patrol, in this universe anyway. And now he's joined this ensemble lineup of heroes. So yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, seeing Corey struggle in this episode was an interesting thing as a whole. I couldn't tell if she had like this thing of like split personality or like. Well, I mean, I think it's less split personality and more like split like mindsets. Like, you know, one mindset is of her post memory loss, where she wakes up in the car, and now from there to here, she's befriended Dick and Rachel and Gar, and she's part of this team now. She's helping Rachel, and then all of a sudden she gets her memories back and finds out what she really is, and then that part of her, that version of her pre-crash or pre-landing, like whatever happened, comes back out, and she remembers her mission. So her mission given to her by her people on Tamaran was to actually kill Rachel, because they thought that Rachel was the key. Rachel is the key. She's the key to bringing Trigon over, and if Trigon comes over, he's going to start destroying worlds. So in that way, Rachel is the enabler or the key to the resurrection of the destroyer of worlds, the resurrection of Trigon. So killing her meant that there was no one else capable of bringing him over. So then that would actually save her world too. So that's why I think that's why like her mission initially was to. I mean, her mission was to take care of Rachel, but then that could be translated to either secure or to kill or to end in some way. So yeah, fun stuff. Fun stuff. So now at the end, I think we only saw Dick going in, so we'll see exactly how that interaction goes down and see where this leads us in terms of the story. I think we're coming up fairly close to the end of the season now. So it's been a wild ride. It's been a wild ride. So it's been fun though. It's been very, very fun. I've been really loving the show so far. I've been meaning to check it out for so long, and now I'm finally into it. It's really cool. And I think it's a very, very different experience knowing that I've never watched any of the other Titans shows. I know there's like Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go, and there's Young Justice 2. I've never watched that. I don't know if that's like related to this, if that's also to do with like Robin and Starfire and everyone else, but there's that show. So I haven't watched many of the other DC shows outside of the CW stuff, so this is like my first kind of foray into non-CW DC stuff. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this and what you think is going to go down, how you feel about Trigon finally coming over, what you think of him, and what you think of all the twists and turns this episode took. Let me know. But yeah, that is pretty much all I've got from this episode. It was a fun one, so I'll see you guys in the next one. But yeah, that was Titans Season 1, Episode 10, titled Koriandr. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment and read all the episode and what you think is coming up next time on Titans. The Anchor reaction, for those of you who want to go check it out, will be up on Patreon. But yeah, that's it. So, I will see you guys next time.